Hello, everyone. It is Matthew. It is August the 23rd, Sunday night, and welcome to the markets. I took a little break there. Last couple weeks, I don't think I posted anything to YouTube. It wasn't laziness; it was a true break. I just kind of felt like I needed some time away from these charts. I feel much better for it. I don't think we can do this day in, day out without any negative effects. And so I just took a little bit of a break. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. I don't have to answer to anyone. I just wanted to tell you I took a little bit of a break. All right, let's get back into it. The US dollar index. Let's have a little look. This thing is, I think, going up. We've had that beautiful sell-off. This is a daily chart. If we look back, we had this descending trend line that is now into an area of interest for me. You can see these multiple points, and we're there. Um, so for this, I am positioned in dollar long, and we had that little bit of a further sell-off, but then it really did confirm here. And a bunch of pairs have done this, where it blew through a little bit of a level that was starting to show some support, and it just wanted a bit more. It just needed to take a little bit more, and so that's what I think is going to happen. Is this week we'll probably on for some dollar strength, which of course the euro USD is negatively correlated to the index, and the index is made up of about 60% of the euro USD pair. So you're going to see a lot of similarities, and we are now up into this area as well for the euro USD. You can see these peaks. We've been speaking about this obviously week after week, but this flag we had discussed, and I have it on my on a different video, that it just had to get higher, and then it made it up to here. And I think this was a short idea here. Well, weren't we wrong? Look at this thing; it just ran right up, blew through that. No one expected this kind of a sell-off. But as you're looking at this, you can find that you are now looking at various patterns. I know that's sloppy, but it gives you that rising wedge, and they usually break to the downside. So you're getting divergence here in your indicator. You're getting this, the developer calls this a heat map. It's a really cool indicator. Been working with that. This is a beta version. Um, let's move on here. So I actually left these on because this was from here. We were talking about it rolling over, and I still think that's going to happen. We're going to get to gold in a minute. There's no trade for me at this point, but if you were to zoom in, I think I'd be stretching. I was going to say if we looked at it, we could find ourselves a head and shoulders, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. But you can see we had to run down a flag, and I think it's just going to further flag down, in my opinion. Um, this is another, I've already put out a trade idea for the pound yen, and you've got this consolidation area, but then you've real indecision here, and I think this is at least going to pull back to here. So let me throw a short position up there real quick. Yeah, and we're there for that 2 to 1. It's a 1.8, and but yeah, I think you can tighten that stop up, and it just dropping away. But I'm not jumping into anything right now in the markets. I think I'm short oil at this point, and I'll show that to you in a minute. So the dollar USD, yet again, rising wedge. If we see that, I think it'll break to the downside. Let's, kind of indicate that we think we're going this way. So then when we come back to our charts, we can see what happened. Nothing. I'm not taking the trade at this level or anything. If I'm going to be doing a U.S. dollar pair, I'm gonna look at the pound. The Swissy, I think, is also looking pretty delicious for a long. Even the bull indicator here. I know we've dropped below that level. To say that this is like a pullback, a retest, and a drop away, I think it's a little too soon, in my opinion. But we're having a look, and we are keeping an eye on things. We've had that strong run up. Let's just for the sake of gigs here, um, you can see we're down into this area now, and yeah, we did blow through this. We did blow through that, but on a weekly, this is looking like we're going to come back up. And if there's further downside, I'm not saying there wouldn't be or couldn't be, but I just think that something along these lines would be a little more realistic of something for this pair to do. If we're going to see more downside, which I wouldn't be totally surprised, I think we need to kind of revert to the mean. There's all your EMAs, let them kind of flatten out a little bit, and we'll come back to it. But that's kind of what I think is going to happen there. And moving on to, so we even showed the engulfing. I believe this is back a couple weeks. This this engulfing candle we highlighted. You can see it has just dropped away ever since. So there's no trade idea for me at this point in the New Zealand dollar U.S. pair, but I want to see it get down further to around these areas before we or just some kind of I'd want to see in and around here just some sort of an indication that we're going to continue to the upside, and we can wait for that because we have patience. Oh, I found this one, this wow, and really this was a big deal to me. Um, I can't remember whether I was indicating this single candle, which I think I was, or then that's on a weekly, of course, and or on a daily, just the strong rejection, and then it just dropped away. And I think it's even more dramatic on a weekly, where it just completely drops away, heat all over the map, intersections of major trend lines and stuff, and I cannot recall if I traded that, but it was definitely a great trade setup. I know we discussed it. Um, so at this point, going back to us thinking about US dollar strength, I think it's going to come in. But I think what's going to happen is, and we'll get to it, but I think oil, as they're correlated to CAD and the US dollar, I think we're very much going to see a run up. This sell-off has been going on for a while. The bull's starting there. We're not getting that red that I like to see in the indicator at this point, and you can see that it starts to really correlate with different opportunities. But let's just see what this does in this area, because this is going to be a week to watch this pair, I think. And we'll come back to that as we break down the market a little further. Oh, this was an interesting pair, the Euro CAD. We traded that, and I'm looking over at my other screen here, and that was the 23rd is today. Um, when did we see that? The 10th. So that's going back a few days, but this was a trade that I had set out in the group, and you can see that right away it just started to go against us, and then it fully hit profit. So this is something that we're working with, is for everyone to just get a little bit more patience, allow your risk management to play out, and we can do this. For the euro, obviously, U.S. strength creates euro weakness, and we're going to see we've dropped through this trend line at this point, and if anything, it hasn't even reached this area to find that support, but I think we'll drop a little bit further through that. So nothing to trade yet unless it's a pullback and then a drop away, but there's nothing jumping out at me here. And to be honest with you, as you drop down time frames, you see this flagging happen. This is just not done yet. Um, could be a key trade opportunity here to be discussed, and I'll have a look at that a little further. Um, this pound is just, she's an interesting gal this week. Um, a little choppy for me. Not interested in even really talking about that. Okay, so we have the Euro Swissy, a lot of rejection on those runs up. I would think we're looking for downside as we're just not getting there. But as I, we're nothing's exciting. I like to see extremes, trade prices at extremes. The euro odd, we highlighted that double bottom opportunity, but it's just a nothing exciting at this point. Even if at the double bottom, if you had especially on a daily, this magenta line is my 200 EMA, and I would have been very happy to have at least hit that. I would have taken profit there. Okay, so the pound Swissy, nothing exciting for me yet again. Jumping at that. I think if we're going to get into Swissy, we'll do it in the US dollar. Um, okay, so the pound yen, you can see some action. This is a trade idea I've already put out. You can see I've highlighted it, and you can can see that the price has run up beautifully, flagged several times here, there, and everywhere, and then it ran sideways for a while. And that would have been a good signal to me, but it just kept meandering sideways. This would have been painful to watch. And then you have this really strong rejection candle of that level. And I think in the trade idea that I put out, I want to see price come back up at least to that 38.2 fib level. I don't know if we're going to get there. Um, I really don't. I don't know if we're going to get to this level and then drop away because that was such a strong rejection. The party might be started. I'm not sure. Um, I'm going to let this candle tell me what we're doing, and if we're running away, I might hop in on it. It's just probably to here is where I'm going. Yeah, I want to get to a full 2 to 1, but I don't know. I don't know with this one. And it's early in the week. It's only Sunday night, so we can just take a breather and relax a little bit about that. Engulfing Canada, you can see we even talked about that. That's been up for a bit. We're dropping away, which is always nice to see. Double top, dropping through trend lines and continuing on. I think the odd is on for a little bit of weakness, especially as we're talking about these pairs and and but they're both commodity currencies, and I don't know how excited I get about that. I like to see pairs that are a little more separated, I guess. Um, So the odd yen, this one here, I think I was already looking at that. This one here is a bit of a joke. This odd New Zealand. I have a little running joke with a buddy of mine that I'm always trying to short it. And you can see if I was always trying to short it, that wouldn't have been a great idea. But here was an idea that we posted for the week, I believe. Um, and you can see right here, like another big, beautiful candle, dropped away, found support in this area, and it never got to these. I even have an alert set, and it never even got to that area, and it just ran off. Now, it's blown through this level, and we're into this meet here. We're showing a doji on a weekly, which is going to be significant. But to me, we're kind of flagging a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know. I want to see a little bit more, at least upside till downside, maybe. But now we're looking at one of the greatest Ponzi schemes of all time. I think I called the long last week that we're breaking through this level. Why not? At this point, why not call the longs? Because this is so insane. I'm actually net short in my portfolio of just the market. I don't mind being wrong for a long time. I'm a swing trader. This might be more or less a position trade. There's just fundamental underpinnings that are just not there. No matter what people say, the facts remain. The economic drivers are sitting they're not on the fence. They've fallen over into Mr. Wilson's backyard, and Mr. Wilson is going broke. And it's just a scary time to um, to be trying to be long and eking whatever out of the market. And we've all done well if you just did your job. We've all done well in the markets, but at this point, I think we have to be realistic that second waves of pandemic are coming on. Lockdowns, kids not in schools, parents needing to be home. We're homeschooling our children. We're down here in Costa Rica. We pulled them out of private school, and we are just going to homeschool them. We just threw our hands up in the air and said, "Hey, why not? Out of our time together as parents and children and as a family, why not enjoy a year or two of homeschooling and being a little loose on your feet, not drive like we were still driving, 40 minutes there and back to school, 20 minutes each way, and then do that twice a day, and it wasn't, so that time of just hanging out has been great. So anyway, a bit of a ramble there, but yeah, let's just see what this world has to offer. This may go to 4,000. This may go to wherever. I don't care. I really do not. There is some serious, you would have thought the world was over when that happened. And in my personal opinion, I think something worse is on route. But yeah, I'll just leave that at that. How did that called it pretty good, but it would have been a tough one to. Anyways, this is where I am in my thinking. We broke out another, yeah, I guess with that dollar strength that drives Bitcoin down. Is it going to the moon? Is it going to the moon right here, guys? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't often trade it, but okay. So oil. One of my most contentious issues on TradingView was an oil trade that I posted. Guys calling me everything under the sun. Last time I checked, there's some more money in the bank. So it was a trade that worked out, and I'm very happy with that. And I rode this. I just rode this up. And I think I started to get out around here, which, as you can see, yeah, I missed a few moves, but that to me was good enough. We're at that 61.8 level. Here's the 200 EMA. We have we are into this the red zone on my this is a trade idea I've been posting. We're just going sideways, and it's amazing to watch, but let's just see what happens. It's just a trade. It's just another trade. It's no big deal, but I do believe there's a bit of a drop coming. And okay, gold. I am a bull. I keep mentioning these same things in all my videos. I am a bull, but I think we need to consolidate a little bit, and I think we need to consolidate a little bit longer. I just don't know. Maybe it dips down a little more and heads off, but I really do believe, like, you hear guys like your Warren Buffett's and stuff finally saying, touting gold, and I don't think he's touting gold. In my opinion of this gentleman, is he's fearful of what I'm talking about. That the underpinnings of the economy, this has become a casino. This is a venerable man who has watched many generations in the stock market, and he's being very clear that I'm not interested in playing this game. It's become a Ponzi scheme. Sure, we've broken out. I am bullish of this shiny metal, but I don't see a trade yet in my books. I would want to see just a little bit more pullback, or a really nice rejection candle would be great. But saying that, I always have gold. I own it physically. I have positions in miners often. I have it as a spot currency as well, so or a spot trade. So it's it's on my portfolio all the time. Same with silver, and we got lucky with a nice short a week or two ago as well with silver. We caught that full fade. Look at that, just bang, kissed $30. Beautiful. All right, so that's kind of my rant and ramblings, kind of getting the wind under my sails again. I've been neglecting YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, man. I have things to do. We got, it's a global pandemic, pal. We got things happening, but I really appreciate all of you guys who do subscribe. I really appreciate all of you who do give this market the time that I put into it. And let's just move on to another couple things that I love to watch. That shooting star on the weekly, we're already on a weekly chart, and you can see that it dropped away beautifully. That was a trade idea we put out, beautiful. I really think that the jig is up for the Hong Kong dollar. Um, we will see. We will see. I would not be putting a lot of money on that trade. But yeah, okay, so look at this craziness. Let's just wait for confirmation. Let's not get too worked up about anything that's happening in this Ponzi scheme of a market. Cannot fight the Fed is a real motto that we have to respect. I am constantly looking for that short. And the last time I was washed out a lot trying to be short, but I caught that big drop. And so that is what I expect happening again is this big drop, but I expect it to go further. So as I said, I'm net short, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Let's get back into it. Let's have ourselves a great time. And once again, thank you so much.